I just want to tell you, this guy's got guts. He's a damn winner. We're glad he's in our program. He fought his tail off today, and I love this kid. He's that right there, he bleeds black and gold. So keep your head up.
Sure.
All right, we'll take questions for Chase Bryce.
Chase, you've been around college football for a while. Have you ever had a vibe, an experience, a feeling like what's going on in this game before?
Honestly, no. Pre-game, weeks leading up to it, fall camp, knowing you're playing North Carolina in-state team. But when you finally get here and you run out of our tunnel and you see the fans, everything lights up, it's bright, it's noon, it's kickoff. We're ready to play. And it was electric. I want to give a huge shout out to the fans from both sides for coming out, being respectful as well. Thought it was, a great bloodbath, honestly, between two really good programs. And so that's really all I got to say about that. It was just an awesome experience.
You're down 3 scores. What's your message to the offense? At the end of the day, there are a lot of leaders on that unit, but your voice is the main one that comes out at game time. What are you telling the guys when you're down and you've got to go back out on the field and try to engineer that comeback?
Yeah, I think our offense has a great relationship with everybody, different positions. So for me, my quarterbacks are helping me in what we need to do. They're kind of in my ear, talking to Coach Barbe. I got Coop handling the O-line. Cam and Nate are handling the backs. And then we come together, and then I got the receivers as well. But we can't get 21 points in one score, and everybody knows that. So that was the message from Coach Barbe. That's what I kept reiterating to our guys. Christian Horn came up to me, and, I think it was second quarter, I believe. He said, you're just going to have a heck of a fourth quarter. Just plain and simple. We're going to have to come together and have a heck of a fourth quarter. And we did. We just came up short, didn't execute on a couple things that hurt and that we really want back. But our guys came together and rallied around one another. Defensively, special teams, what a return by Milan Tucker to get us in a position. We were right there.
Speaking of the receivers, that's been one of the set of question marks about this team. Not because they're not talented, they just haven't been on the field as much. Davis, Horn, Caden Robinson all scored touchdowns today. Do you feel like that was the coming out party, that was the growing up, and from here they're just as good as any set of receivers you could be around?
They were just waiting for their moment. They were behind some really good receivers in the past. Like I said in plenty of conferences before, those guys, a couple of them were there today, Hennigan and Malik, are so excited to watch them go what they did today. Just ball. Leave technique, leave all the coaching out at some points, and just go play ball. I called Sperlin earlier. Our thing was it's just ball. And it just calmed me down and reminded me that all this is just ball. So I think those guys left it on the field for everybody to, get their conclusion about our receiving core.
Not exactly what we want to be talking about, but take us through both two-point conversions. What went on the first one? What went on the second one?
The first one was incomplete. Had it dialed up, just came up, didn't execute it, didn't complete it. And on the second one, Seven, the DN, Noah Taylor, made a really, really hard read for me to, decipher whether to give it to Cam or pull it, and I had options there. So he's a long, big dude. So he made it, he squeezed a little bit and redirected to me, and I think y'all saw, I came up short, tried to give good effort to try to get that ball in.
And then what do you do now if you're going to head, as you head forward? You got to be able to move past this but use some of what was useful today. What's your message going forward?
Just build off today. Look at the film. It's all over. We can't go back. And that, there's a lot of plays I want to go back to that's circulating in my mind right now. But a lot of our guys are in good spirits. A lot of us are hurt. But you're not going to see us hang our heads. So we're going to go in and watch the film tomorrow, get a good practice in, get our mind right for the next week game.
Jason, Chris Peterson, WXI TV. This was one of probably the most exciting college football game I've ever seen in person. So what was it like to play in it?
It's cool. We had 40,000 out there. You got another 10 outside the fences, and they didn't count those people, but I saw them. It was electric, like I said. But when you get on that field, it just kind of clear the mechanism. So you're just kind of locked into your 11 guys on the field and their 11 and trying to beat them. So, but in different moments, TV timeouts, acknowledging former players coming back, you really get to feel that and you appreciate it, because there's a lot of places not like this here at App State that love ball and want to support you and are there for you, wins and losses.
Any more questions?
Thank y'all.
I guess one.
You have one?
After both two-point conversions, I saw players rally around you and around the player that was targeted on the first conversion. I think that's really heartening to see, and this is now your second year in the squad. Is that the energy that you need to draw on to move forward and get past this, that rally around the team energy?
Yeah, I'm close with everybody on the team. So I think seeing me and Deshaun not connect right there hurts Trey Cobb and Nick Hampton and those guys that are sitting there counting on us, because they can go back during the game and know that we're counting on them, and they feel like they're going to say that, but it's you go through a game and things like that happen. Picks happen, fumbles happen, turnovers happen, sacks happen. You kind of have to just go in that knowing that adversity is going to hit. And I think today was a great day to see adversity strike us and how we counteracted that, and putting up 40 in the fourth is what I heard. So, and I mean, going back to your question, I don't even remember us scoring 40. I didn't even know that was a thing in the fourth quarter. So to hear that coming back, but they rallied around us because they love me and Deshaun, and I love them, and they know that. And I think, to your question, that's going to definitely carry us into the, next week's game and then into Sunbelt play where everything, matters.
I think it was just a fill-it-out process. Their defense was giving us some different looks than we went over at practice, and it's always a lot different from going over practice and getting into the real game. But they had a lot of heavy flow from the backside, which I was kind of expecting. It's just some runs didn't go my way. I would see one here and there, but it just didn't work out. And with Nate, he's just such a quick, shifty guy, and he can get hot behind the line a little bit more than I can. It's a lot more. It's a lot easier for him sometimes to hit certain runs. But what I would see from him is just he plays with such a quick first step, and it was hard for North Carolina to adjust to that. I don't feel like they prepared as well for Nate as they did for me, but it worked out for him, and I love that for him, and it's good to see.
Well, eventually it worked out for you too. As the game went on, you got into the third quarter, you kind of busted that backside run for the long touchdown. So, as the game went on, it felt like your offensive line was really doing a great job up front. Did you feel like maybe they kind of got worn down a little bit and maybe opened up some opportunities for you?
I think so, especially, our O-line. We've been preparing for moments like that all year, all fall camps, situational football. Coach Clark talks about it all the time, and the situation arise. And I knew that that we needed a spark. Earlier when we were down in the game by I think 3 scores, I told the running backs, it's up to us to make something happen. And Chop goes out there, he makes a play. The O-line's got some energy behind him. Nate goes out there and scores. We come back, get another touchdown. I ended up tying the game, and I think the O-line had a lot of fire behind them, and with Coop and those boys taking charge towards the end of the game, wearing the defense down. I think they did a great job.
Let's talk about Datrick a little bit. You know, if you've been in this program or around it, you understand the grind he's had to go through. And I mean, you know, how hard he's had to work just to be back out there. Then he comes in the third, and you guys need a spark. And he looked like old Datrick.
Yeah.
You know, he looked like regular old Chop. You know, talk about what it meant to the sideline when you looked up and saw him out there playing the way he was playing.
Man, I love Chop, man. Everybody on this team loves Chop. You know, Chop's one of the hardest workers I've ever been around, and he's been through so much and battled so much adversity, and he always comes out on top. He never gives up on himself, and he always has this confidence about himself. You know, every single day he walks around with such a huge confidence, and it's good to see, especially, you know, the injuries he's had and the things he's been through. He's never gave up, and you need guys like that. It's as energizing as that was, and for him to go out there and make them plays, you know, I was so blessed to see that, and I know he's blessed to have that moment, and you know, I'm proud of Chop, man, and that's my brother. I love to see him shine.
You've been here long enough to have played in several games just like this one, where you're a couple of points away. Last year at Miami, this game. You know, you've seen these things before. You guys are not unfamiliar with this. What do you do to move forward?
We just got to realize that we still have all of our goals in front of us. Everything we want is still at hand. We still got a goal in hand of achieving a Sun Belt championship in a bowl game, and that's very much in front of us. You know, we got to put this one to bed, go over the film, see what we did good, see where we could have improved a little bit, but. You know, you gotta just move on and play the next game.
Cam, what was it like to compete in that environment? And you know, you guys do the Mountaineer Walk, and there's fans in the stadium to greet you there. Just what is all that like to experience?
It's amazing. I think, you know, as a kid, that's the type of things you dream of. Those playing those types of games and in front of that environment. And it was thrilling. You know, it brought such an energy, you know, from the morning, you know, coming out here and seeing the fans just so up and so early. You know, you kind of may be a little tired or whatever, but you see all those people just energized and ready to, you know, fight for you. It's a dream come true, and I truly think that, you know, App has one of the best college football atmospheres in the nation. You know, and that's saying that, playing in places like Penn State and South Carolina and stuff like that. You know, I still put App up there with some of the biggest programs in the country.
Well, honestly, it was an honor just to have all those fans come support. You know, it was a big game for us, and it sucks that we didn't give them a win, but I'm really grateful for all those fans that came out to support us.
Perfect.
Andrew, wasn't what you wanted defensively today. All right, we'll kind of cut through that. But there at the end, when you guys needed to come up with a couple of stops to get the offense the ball back, you were able to do it. You know, you keep taking those haymakers from Carolina's offense, and you give them credit for that. But you guys were able to kind of rally back up and do some things when it was necessary. What was the messaging around the defense? You guys were on the sideline. You're in the huddle together. You know, what's the message?
Message really just keep plugging. You know, it was a shootout between both teams, and we just needed to tighten up and play assignment sound football and just get a few stops, you know, for the offense, because they were playing the exceptional game. You got to take your hats off for them because they played their butts off. They kept us in the game. So the whole mindset was just to get them off the field and give us a chance to go up. We knew we were going to go for two, so if we can get them off the field, we'll ride with our offense who had the hot hand.
Most of the game, you guys did a pretty good job of containing their running game. They had the one big broken run, but you know, before that point came, App's per carry average was double Carolina's. You guys were doing a pretty good job containing the run, which is obviously a big focus of yours. What were you guys able to do collectively to kind of keep that running game in check early in the game?
Well, try to play assignment sound football, just read your keys, understand when we're getting power or counter to the boundary, just how to fit it up and stuff like that. So just being in the right spots and trusting your teammates to make plays.
You're a veteran. You've been around a lot of college football. You know where you're going next week to play as well. How do you, in your experience, how do you go back, kind of get the bitter taste out of your mouth, use the positive stuff from today, and get ready to go play another really tough team next week?
I think you got to go and watch the film and correct the mistakes and figure out where you went wrong and what can you do better. And you got to eliminate it and flush it from your mind and just get ready for the next week.
Hey, Andrew. On Caleb Hood's 71-yard rush, your teammate Nick Ross chased him down to prevent a touchdown, although they managed to score afterwards. What does it feel like to have a teammate that is, even when you're down big, willing to gut that out and chase down a play like that?
It was an outstanding effort by Nick. When you have a teammate like that that's willing to give his all for the cause, which is winning the game, that's the guys that you want to play with, and he did an exceptional job on that play, just stopping the guy from scoring.
Thank you.